But I think with Prophet, Witch Doctor, they're probably gonna only pull a little bit and then look for kills, like you pointed out. They have quite a lot of damage to burst this squishy ranged Prophet.
A lot of questions need to be answered in this game 1 of this best of 5. And to report the action, we got the best, we got Cap and SPG. And first, some of the ultra best in the music department. It's the PogChamp Pandas.
Prepare for battle. Put a cork.
Ах ты хитрец.
Oh, poor baby.
I could eat a walrus.
2 months ago, Yandex played in the Div 2, and they went 23-1 in order to get a qualified spot here in DreamLeague Season 27. And now they're matched up against the 2-time TI champs.
They deserve it. Every bit of it. This team has been on a roll. They will make another grand final appearance here in the later half of this year. Starting to make a name for themselves, starting to establish they are not a fluke. They have a lot more to work with than people thought. We're going to get our hands on some big team fight from Spirit early on and some strong laning from Yandex. We got some signature heroes for the tournament coming out for a lot of these players, particularly looking at that Shadow Demon for Soxa. Why would you give this guy Shadow Demon?
That is just a question.
That is disgusting. I'm also looking at the Furion, a hero that probably still been one of the fastest heroes of the patch if you could execute that early laning stage. A little different from the carry than for the mid in terms of that rotation ability, but you get some extra maybe kills or damage with the Witch Doctor. You rotate into this PA lane, could be pretty fast here for Yandex. And I'm looking at that Noticed Axe. To me, Noticed has been the standout player of the squad this event. He's had some killer games, especially on this hero. And he could be set up for a lot of success if the rotations come through.
Yatoro, okay, this was a test of patience from him, which he passed. He did not go for the bounty rune. He did not try and run down lane. He did not get caught by the Shadow Demon. But he did teleport out to lane. I almost expected that Yandex were going to see if they could get a cheeky kill on it, but a Team Spirit are going to pop out with their own tri-lane, go for the goal, and Watson early Sunstrike kill, and it goes to Larl.
Perfect execution there. Not as patient on the Yandex safe lane as Spirit instantly strike. They do give up lane control bottom to make this play happen. No contest on that block means Yatoro will have his lane shoved out super far, but you get the Sunstrike kill. You get that first blood on the exact hero you want in this Larl Invoker, which has been another signature this event. He is just destroying people on this hero.
Yeah, even in the lower bracket final. A couple of slip-ups there, but let's talk about Phantom Assassin, because we got a lot of things to talk about for this hero. This hero received some changes in the patch. We're also going to see the sweet release facet, which I'm not sure how much you've seen it, but I actually think that this facet is the correct one to go now. I feel like this one actually got buffed up to a point from previous patches that it's worth considering.
Definitely been seeing some more people play around with this. You know, the mid tops in PA that he was playing for a little bit with this facet was kind of going ham.
Yeah.
It gives you more damage, which is kind of what you want on the hero. Gives you more ability to play off the daggers in the team fight. It can give you some extra lane chase down potential. I kind of dig it. I think the other facet wasn't doing enough for people to justify it. Ultimately, if Yatoro feels like it's the correct play, I would trust him, because to me, he is the PA player. Like, this is his original hero.
And what do you think about the charges change to Phantom Strike? So it is no longer, it's a longer cooldown. It's a 12-second cooldown as opposed to what was a 5-second cooldown, but you get to have 2 charges of Phantom Strike. That is very explosive.
To me, this is a big buff. I'm sure there'll be some people who say they rather have the better uptime, but getting 2 of this spell that gives you attack speed, being able to just jump in, get a bunch of hits off with attack speed, jump again, have the better uptime in that sense, and be able to go in and out. That gives you a lot of flexibility in the fight. Makes this hero a lot more of a true assassin, where you can jump a backline hero, kill him, and still jump back to your team.
Sure.
Almost like I think how Ricky is supposed to play, but that hero's just completely screwed up.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect fit for Yatoro. Yatoro wants to be on a hyper late game carry. He wants to be on a traditional agi carry, to be honest, if he had his way a lot of the time, where he can scale that physical. And he's also this kind of player who wants to be able to pick where and how he goes in the fight and be able to reset Kaichu around. We saw it on his Morphling in the series earlier today. He can take that fight in a lot of ways, so this is a perfect hero for him to shine on. Quiet lane phase other than the first blood. See how aggressive Yandex want to get on this axe lane. I do think you have potential to run the PA or at least the Warlock down in this lane, and you can always rotate the Witch Doctor to the gate. You can always TP the Fury onto that lane if you really want to, and just TP back top off of a kill. So that lane is super far at bottom. I think there is some kill threat for Yandex there. They can also just go the route of stacking with the Shadow Demon, but we haven't seen it as much. People prefer to play for a bit more aggression with the Disseminate. Mid lane's basically going to be a wash.
This top lane, I don't know if I love for Yandex. Witch Doctor, like every single time we're seeing him Maledict the Tidehunter, but it's not like Furion has this explosive damage to follow that up and really capitalize on Maledict, right? You want fast damage that takes advantage so the following ticks of Maledict get, you know, as much damage as possible. But here it's just kind of like a Sprout, 1 or 2 right clicks, which Collapse mostly ignores because he's got this block.
That's why I almost want to see the Furion rotate, even though it's a safe lane one, because you don't have lane synergy up there. You have no threat on this Tide. It feels really bad for the Witch Doctor. I mean, look at how far this lane is.
Oh, look at these denies. Yutoro has been punishing Notice big time. That was 4 denies between the two of them.
He misses like that. It's a disaster of a
oh my god, is he going to get a single creep out of this? All right, got the range creep, one of them.
Still has a bunch of regen to work with, is accumulating wand charges down here as well. Something to think about. The Lotus went Sox's way, and they both have early stick plus wand. So you're giving a lot of charges off these daggers. Gives you even more offensive potential down here if you can eventually dive this PA or something.
Right. I mean, as like said, this is a goated lane. PA Warlock. Which I kind of laughed when he said it, but it actually is goated in this instance, where it's like, you're being harassed by Battle Hunger. You've got Dagger to get rid of the Battle Hunger without getting close, and you've got the Warlock for the sustain.
Comes that Witch Doctor move, though. Malady already looking for it. Does not mind giving solo XP to a Fury on top. We're getting the double connection. Instant Tusk teleport.
Yeah, Rue's going to be keeping up with Malady here. 2-man Maledict, which is going to do a lot of damage, but the axe is already dead. Here comes the Furion, though. The Sunstrike, it lands and gets the kill. Yutoro's probably going to take out here. A lot of damage being spread out from that Maledict. That's the power of that facet right there.
That's the power of numbers on this lane. This was always going to be the lane that Yandex attacked. They're always going to be able to bring their entire safe lane here. Spear, we're ready. Nice snowball dodge, great Sunstrike land, but ultimately overwhelming damage with that malpractice on the Maledict, dealing the extra deeps.
1,200 damage from the Witch Doctor in that team fight. Anto is going to show up and try and do a little bit of extra damage. Oh, actually, Yutoro makes an early rotation as well, going after the Witch Doctor, and they will collect on that kill thanks to the dagger. A lot of turnaround damage. Larl into trouble once again. The snowball saves have been good from Rue, and this time he actually gets his carry to survive.
If that Meteor was on a better angle, you might even get the DK out of that, considering the bonds went through.
Yeah.
Really nice rotation from Yutoro. I feel like every time we watch this guy in a grand finals, he starts making these crazy carry rotations. Just feeling the moment, putting the pressure on the enemies. These guys are not going to choke. Right? There's absolutely no question about it. So they're going to put the pressure on you. And Yandex, they're a much more inexperienced team, a lot younger, still trying to prove themselves in these grand finals. You do not want to fall behind early in these games or early in this series, especially against this team.
Yeah, they were not able to prove themselves in their last finals against Tundra and 3-0 there, but it does feel like Yandex has gotten even better since then, as DreamLeague has given them a lot of opportunity for a number of games against top-tier opponents. They've had some grueling series as well. Many of their series has gone the distance, the 3 games.
Well, they're proving themselves for sure. Grand finals are just a different beast. So you can get that monkey off your back and win that one. Sometimes that first one can feel so elusive. Of course, Sox the TI winner gives you some experience here, but I think the rest of the squad is still searching for that first big win against a big opponent in a finals with this squad. I just already done for Larl. He's cooking this game. This is a strong start for a hero that Spirit have gone back to time and time again. Still have potential to rotate on this Invoker. He's still susceptible in the laning phase, and he still have a lot of aggressive potential down here. Will be another phylactery buildup for the Axe. This did not go well for XXS in the game we saw earlier. If you're Yandex, hopefully it goes a lot better for Notice. Does give you a lot of aggressive potential on this PA who's susceptible to the early nuke damage.
Long snowball chasing after Noticed. This is not going to be an easy kill. They stretch out pretty far, and they're in danger of the Fury on counter rotation here. The Golem's going to be dropped on the two supports here. Disruption goes out. They'll bide their time. Take out Soxa as the rest of Yandex retreat.
Lose nobody. Panto TPing to base, survives the Battle Hunger Maledict, and with Collapse showing up, that is not a fight you can TP the Furion into. Even though Wrath bounced through, Tor just went into the trees and dodged it. And they just sit the Invoker mid. He can contribute with Sunstrike, and he can pressure your tower. Maybe a little too far up here, though.
Yeah, Larl, he was really aggressive there trying to hit that mid tower. He did not respect at all. The Dragon Knight could come back into lane.
That almost felt like there was a miscommunication on calls or something.
Yeah.
As if Spirit said there's nobody going back mid, and he just plays super far up. Something got slipped up there. That is not a death he should have given up, especially with the start he's had. Well, even feed the Golem. Ground your gold. Meanwhile, we're just giving you Toro the business down
Needs
here.
the jump, and Rue helps give it to him. Now they'll kill the creeps. Rid of the Battle Hunger.
This is the Axe PA matchup. You can always force this guy off the wave, slow down his progression towards that Battle Fury. But it's kind of in a slow laning phase for Noticed overall. The Phylactery's done, but he's the poorest core here. Even with the rotations coming through, the early CS war didn't favor him too much. He had to spend a lot on regen as well. Bought at least 2 salves, extra tangos. That PA Warlock did its job, man. It just wears through you. And it limits how aggressive you can be in the early phases of those lanes.
I could eat all.
Fox has been here before. I do think I like the Phylactery more in this matchup because he's got a lot of other heroes on his team that can set up fights for him. Right? Like the Dragon Knight's going to be able to just, you know, walk in with Dragon Form, range stun somebody. You've got the Furion that's... Fox has been here before. I do think I like the Phylactery more in this matchup because he's got a lot of other heroes on his team that can set up fights for him. Right? Like the Dragon Knight's going to be able to just, you know, walk in with Dragon Form, range stun somebody. You've got the Furion that's going to be coming in. The biggest one is the Shadow Demon Disruption, which allows him to walk in and get the call. The Phylactery just adds a lot more damage, which is great when you have this Maledict.
I agree. It looks a lot better in terms of synergy with the lineup than in the XG game we watched. I also think Conda looks great in this game. Any breaks you can build on the side of Yandex. You're looking at Conda, you're looking at the Shadow Demon Ags. Being able to go and break Tide.
I was going to bring up Conda, but like every single time I brought up Conda, he doesn't build it. So
sure, but it's still something you think about way later down the line. I'm not saying you get it fast here. I do think some of these late game breaks could be influential against Tide and PA. They're both pretty nice break targets. I also think Phylactery is effective against agi carries if you're going to play against somebody.
Sure.
It does make sense here on a lot of levels. It's just a question of can you get skirmish value out of it. Spirit, they just keep bringing heroes to the safe lane. They do not want to let this tower fall. They do not want to let Yatoro get forced into the jungle before he's close enough to that Battle Fury to make it efficient. And nobody is touching this Tide early on in this game. Yeah, you have the Maledict, but as you brought up earlier, okay, you go Maledict this Tide. Who is doing the damage to activate Maledict? I just don't see it here in the very early game.
And the funny part is, Collapse has only gotten 1 level of Kraken Shell, so like theoretically, he's a little susceptible to being gone on.
He's going to be so strong if he gets this Ags out fast. With the max points in Gush, showing up to all these early team fights with this build, he's going to do so much damage.
Smoke wraparound after the mid tower being taken. This is the one exposed point for Team Spirit. Face Larl. They can't go for bottom. They can't go for top, but they can keep killing Larl.
A little kill there. Even Wrath coming through. I'll just get a little extra gold for Watson. That's pretty much the exact kill you want off the exact move. Taking this mid tier 1, finding Invoker once or twice. That's the DK MO against this hero.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
They do set Larl back. Trade-off is you're giving an empty lane to this PA. You pretty much have to choose between making moves against Yatoro or making moves against Larl. You always have that aggressive capability, but you can only do so much here in the early game. Would not be surprised to see them make a move bottom with this DK Blink to try and take that tier 1.
This dragon form is going to be taken out soon, so maybe the next dragon form. Big stacks. How many? Ooh, careful, notice. How many stacks have we got on these sides? Doesn't feel like with Team Spirit placing most of their supports in the bottom lane, they are not going to have nearly as many stacks. So Yandex are going to get the better of the economy in that regard.
Super big, those 2 cores there, as Spirit trying to amp up the aggression here. Again, brought the PA mid. Kind of interesting. Maybe Yatoro worried about getting gank bottom, or worried about his Invoker getting ganked again.
Yeah, there was a lot of heroes off map because they were clearing out that ancient stack, so maybe he thought it was a smoke gank to him.
Wouldn't surprise me, because I think that is the next natural move for Yandex, is to make another smoke play with this DK into that bottom lane. Right in the tier 1 with the Furion poured in. If you're just sitting on that wave, you're going to get called, you're going to get cast off of a DK stun lead, so Yatoro definitely a little scared about where he is on the map right now and where he's able to farm in. I mean, Chira Jr., he's not scared at all. He's starting to take away space on his own. Again, heroes are off map for Yandex. Spirit scared to show on waves right now. They have 3 cores jungling.
Radiant's bottom tower faces a stiff win.
Well, we got to the Battle Fury for Yatoro.
Radiant's
Pretty decent timing, 13.5 minutes.
Honestly, I would consider this a great timing for what he was up against, and you know how much Yandex could have collapsed on him.
Sure.
Especially without farm the Tide is too. Like, that's the big factor. This Tide can defend this tower. He can run interference on the map. He can slow the game down, which is what the Invoker PA want right now.
I feel like whenever you get into this position where you've taken the enemy safe lane tower and you are able to hold your own, you also control the gates. Which means that for a hero like Phantom Assassin, she can just kind of bounce between the sides of the map here, play to both of these ancient camps. You know, whenever she feels the pressure in the bottom lane, she's like, okay, let's just go to the other side, farm up some ancients over there.
That's why that stacking is important for Yandex, because they're basically only controlling one of the 4 ancients right now.
Yeah.
If you stack it up, it'll negate some of that advantage. They're kind of making a late smoke to this 14-minute Wisdom Shrine, but...
Yeah, they're checking out a triangle, but nobody there. Again, the PA goes through the gate, takes the ancients on the other side. So if they were to move straight up, they would find their mark. They don't make that read.
This is all a product of how strong this Tidehunter is. They feel they cannot make this smoke play into the bottom lane where
Run into
Flash is showing.
Get something out of it.
Yeah, you get a support, but this is not the PA. This is not the Invoker you're looking for.
Locked in! One more hit, and he's got him.
That's a massive find. He had a streak, too.
Yeah. Okay, all of a sudden, Yatoro's almost got a full-out Yasha.
That's just not a kill that should happen, especially with the vision. Yandex, they have double obs up there in that upper jungle. Watson felt very safe farming this area, not expecting a move from the upper ancients down.
Yep.
Especially with the smoke that cleared it out.
Radiant's bottom tower faces a stiff win.
What was that, Larl? A panic reaction?
That stone on the ground. Not like this. This is an awkward situation for Yandex. You're just staring at this Tide down here. Ag's already done level 12. Do you want to go on this guy?
I mean, if you go on him, you know that Team Spirit's going to TP in.
It does not look like a good fight if you go on him. At the same time, this is where you want to make the play.
Gonna need a good disruption here because Chira Jr.'s in trouble. Got the disruption off, but Sox is now exposed, and they're still gonna hit the Ravage on 2 and a 3rd in the back line. Maladich, he's gonna make his TP away. No crits for Yatoro, so successful TP out. But yeah, Yandex just kind of feels forced to make a bad move.
That almost felt like a defensive pressure scenario where Spirit were just waiting for Yandex to throw on this bottom lane.
Yeah.
They put him in a spot where there was no clear move to make. They lost their Fury on top. They're feeling like they're falling behind in this game, and the one move that they have is into this unmovable target. You could see the indecision. That was not a clear smoke and a jumping Tide. Let's see if we can kill him. That was, we're going to linger around here, and then we kind of just get jumped in. Oh, this fight looks pretty bad, and it was bad. That Witch Doctor Ward is not enough to clear through this Tidehunter on its own.
Now the next question is, like, I understand that it was a move that didn't feel great, but shouldn't you kind of go back to it now that Ravage is on cooldown?
Yes, now you should just run at this tower and absolutely kill in this time period. You don't necessarily need to bring DK in that move anymore. Spirit are likely going to abandon it, but it served its purpose for Spirit, which was to slow the game down, get the heroes to some key timings, and protect all these ancient camps, which again, PA continues to farm this top ancients. The Tide cleared out the bottom ones, and the Invoker is clearing their triangle. This is where this gold lead is coming from right now. And would not be surprised if it's contributing to the experience lead, which is also favoring Spirit.
Yeah, unsurprising given how much Yandex has grouped up on around together looking for kills. A lot of Tumbler toys. Still loving that item. SNY almost done for Yatoro. Done even faster as he clears out through the Ancients, and Collapse is looking for a Blink Dagger in time with his next Ravage.
See if they can threaten them down here. You do have 4 points in the Maledict now.
Teleport in. If they can hold him inside for the ward to go to work.
Oh, they got stuck off the
They got
Tumbler.
Chira Jr. on the other side. It's fine. They got it. Nice pickup. That'll delay the Blink Dagger and make that Ravage coming up. That timing is not going to quite sync up for him.
Just a big kill to open up the map. You had to get this rock out of your way. Especially with this bottom tier 1 going down now, you can kind of farm out all this area. Your Furion can sit in your triangle, and suddenly you can shift that net worth back your way while maintaining threat around the map. You have to get value out of the Witch Doctor like that. I mean, this is why you pick the hero, so that you can threaten Tide and kick him out of areas.
Yeah, you always say you don't like Witch Doctor because he just provides damage from a 5 position. So if you're going to play Witch Doctor, you kind of have to get kills. There's no other way to play it.
You can play the heal Witch Doctor, we just haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
His stun is very unreliable. It's very low cast range. The hero's very slow. One thing he gives you is he can give you that extra damage amp, but you need damage to enable it. It's a very tricky hero to make work in competitive gameplay.
Playing out here for Tormentor. Both teams here very early.
Very early. More awkward for Yandex. Like they move the axe up there and then they TP the axe out, and now are you going to run the axe straight back there to contest it?
Yeah, the earlier Team Spirit plays for it, the worse Yandex is going to be, because their only ward that they have is this one right in front of the tower.
Very good ward.
It is a very good ward, unless Team Spirit's already kind of set up on Tormentor.
The only way you're contesting this is if you just smoke 3 or 4 people. We have BKB on Dragon Knight, so have the capability to take this fight. Chira Jr. very strong on the front line with Essence Ring on top of that on top of the BKB with all the armor. Buys time for Watson to TP in.
Hey, I really thought Team Spirit was going to be playing to this with the Ravage. Maybe they still will, but Yandex is going to be there first.
They already have a greater healing lotus on Collapse, worth mentioning here. That's a lot of extra HP against a Maledict lineup.
Jump on a Collapse, force him to use a Ravage here. Nobody else is here to take advantage of the Ravage, and with the Maledict, they're going to kill this Tidehunter. Snowball pickup will delay a bit. In fact, it'll dodge some of the Maledict damage as well. He blinks away after the Snowball, and it looks like he's out. Oh, what a Cataclysm with the Golem. Okay, a lot of it was dodged there. Yandex do not take a whole lot of damage. That looked for one little moment there like the Golem stun was going to set up a Cataclysm surprise move, but Yandex, they get out of the way, they take that fight, and they can go back to taking the Tormentor. Team Spirit will have to give this up.
Nice Delta split plus. Doctor Shard dodged it. Disruption dodged it. Your 2 supports are safe. BKB on the Dragon Knight means he can tank anything. That secures you a Shadow Demon Shard. The better one to get here. You already had the Witch Doctor, but this is a really good cleanse game. Put that on the DK on the front line. You can just chase people down.
I do kind of wonder what the communication was like there for Team Spirit. I mean, Tormentor is already spawned. Maybe the rest of the team... Yeah, look at that split.
It almost looked incredible. I do agree. It's a little awkward. Like, this Tide isn't a free front line in this game, and they know that. You're worried about the taunt off the call. You're worried about the Maledict damage adding up. Bail him out, but the fight's not great. You have to Ravage early.
There was also no rush to get to Tormentor because we saw earlier Panto was set up in that area, and they had a ward down. So it's not like the, Collapse is like, I got to get to the Tormentor now because Yandex could be doing it.
I just don't think that's the... I honestly don't think that fight is that easy for Spirit to take at this point in the game with the Dragon Knight BKB. It's hard for your Tide to frontline. Yandex have probably slightly better single target damage unless you can land like this sick Invoker combo. But I guess there's a world if you just hold Tormentor high ground and they walk up the ramp and you can just Ravage Cataclysm. Obviously, they're all going to die. Yeah. But in theory, I don't know how often that play should happen.
I feel like the fight was very possible because they had this Ags for the Invoker, right? Like that first Ags reveal could have been so powerful with a Blink Dagger reveal on Tide. But as it is, instead, Collapse, who is having such a great game, has now died back-to-back in this top lane. And it looks like Panto's going to get run down as well, with those two dying. And the Dragon form used probably means that Yandex get this off-lane tower. They take over the triangle. A lot of things just swung Yandex's way over the last 2 minutes.
Getting some momentum on this axe as well. TP is bonded right now, but he's going to chase these heroes out of here. He actually caught with Blink Tumbler.
Yeah, just gets that distance, but the rest of the team a little bit too far away. They don't know what's lurking in that high ground.
Definitely the part of the game where Yandex are going to take over. Just a question of, was the early game so good for Spirit that they're able to push through this mid game and get to the late game, where I don't think we've really seen them lose late game with Invoker.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a severe amount of outplay. So they're confident in the scale right now.
I mean, Alacrity PA is pretty disgusting. Almost as disgusting as Alacrity Kez.
You do have some decent heroes, though. You will always have this Demonic Purge. You will always have this Blink Blade Mail Call. It'd be hard to itemize against this if you're the PA.
Ooh, blink for blink. Notice. One step ahead of Rue.
See the Spirit, they have all this team fight, but no real solid way to initiate it. It kind of just comes down to the Tusk, which if you use the Tusk offensively, you will not have the defensive snowball to bail someone out of an axe call or something.
Yeah.
So that's a double-edged sword as well.
And when you lack that initiation, I feel like it's even worse when the enemy has a save, right? Like your one initiation, you drop everything on them, well, then the disruption goes out, and that kind of makes things really awkward.
Though Ravage can be a good backline hitting tool.
That's true.
It used to be an old school counter to these Shadow Demon IO type heroes, because you go in on the target, start bursting him down, you Ravage behind him, you catch the saves coming through. There's a quick pick off on the Witch Doctor, who, oh, he takes that smoke. This is the BKB timing for Yatoro, so they feel a lot more confident to go in aggressively. They can get PA in the middle of the fight.
Fear Jr. is apparently very confident as well. He just watched Melody die. And look at Collapse. Oh, that's so funny, man. He's sitting on his anchor to make sure Chira Jr. can't kill it easily. Then the Golem dropped to stop the TP out. Completely countered. Chira Jr. Zero respect there. Melody just got ganked in the mid lane.
That was a little disrespectful, especially when you didn't have full vision of that play. You can never BKB TP out in this game. Both supports have to cancel. That is just a freebie for Spirit. Yandex, they had the gold lead in this game. Their Furion's super strong. You don't even get the fight for Roche, and that's just an easy Aegis for Yatoro. Now he can absolutely go in the middle of the fight. He deals some serious damage. He's a problem.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
You can purge him, but PA can play around purge with blinks.
Dire's bottom tower.
So now you really have to land Zach's call on the PA to control him if you're taking a fight, or just completely dodge this period.
Dire's bottom tower won't last long.
Furion is normally great at playing these kind of dodge periods of the mid game and just farming up. The issue is, are you confident going ultra late here against this Invoker? Always scary, man.
PA versus Furion, a late game Invoker, and two really big team fight spells in the Warlock Tide. I don't think I want to go late game if I'm Yandex. I want to take over this game in the next 10-15 minutes and try and at least get a big net worth lead, if not close it out. But maybe Yandex is more confident than I am.
You just might not have a choice into this Aegis. You might just have to farm and then try and take over the game in the 10 minutes after that.
Yeah.
Some like clutch MKB timing on your cores. Sure. Get a break somewhere if you can get it up in time. Break is not looking close, but yeah, it'll be MKB for the Furion.
Notice wants to go back for a BKB, which is understandable, and then he's even thinking about Shard and Lotus.
Dire's top tower is about to take the blow.
Radiant's bottom tower
Is he building MKB?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He does have it queued up.
Structures are fortified.
That's interesting. I mean, there's no evasion on the field.
It's Dire's top tower is about to take your loss.
Yeah.
I would have thought it was just a satanic buildup,
Yeah,
which is normally like your best counter to this axe call nonsense.
Tower faces a stiff
You just have
wind.
way higher HP. You can lifesteal through the blade mail, get another dispel. MKB doesn't strike me as the item here, though. It is the way more offensive item if you just want to take this game over right now.
Sure.
Interesting. I'm not sure what prompted this because I don't look at this game and go, this is an MKB Phantom Assassin game.
Did he think that Watson was going to go Butterfly on the Furion or something?
It is a potential buildup, but
Not one that Watson's currently going, because Watson, he obviously wants an MKB.
he can't win he can't do anything as PA without MKB reliably. This is like top carry matchup anyway. Maybe he just expects, evasion from the neutral items like
Stoxa gonna be spotted here. Disruption dodges both the Cataclysm and the Meteor. He will be burned out all the same.
It's not the guy you want to run into around this map. All lead being built up for Team Spirit here. They got some really good wards out as well during this period, and full 4 minutes on both of these obs that are in upper dire jungle. So those are really good wards they can go back to even if this Aegis expires. Definitely going to see Furion farming on these. One gets killed. It's mega valuable. I doubt this other one gets killed though. MKB done for Watson. He's level 20. Kind of one of his better points to try and take the fight to the PA once this Aegis expires. If you can get the axe call in, just TP the Furion on there, or if he's in the play already, you can take this PA down. You can just pop all of your BKBs, ignore the Tidehunter, ignore some of the Invoker damage. You're only worried about one core at that point. And that's the guy you're going on and bursting down. So I think that sort of game plan looks pretty solid right now. But of course, still have Aegis for a minute, so it's pretty awkward to make this play right now.
Moving ahead of their Furion. Furion pushing out the bottom lane. They'll cut through this bottom jungle area. Playing to their ward that's a little bit farther south. Nothing on that ward, so they go back to the mid ward area.
Yatoro's just running into him
here, but Yatoro, he's right in the middle of all these heroes. Two-man call the two supports, though. Notice, somehow still finds an opening. The Ravage goes down, though. Yatoro very low in the MKB, and he dies. That's going to be the Aegis, though, and Watson, he's already used his BKB. This is going to be very awkward for him. Yatoro's just going to go for him and clean him up, and Chira Jr. has no allies left.
He's rampage
Notice
hunting
he's
now.
already made his initiation. Collapse goes in, hits him with the anchor, backs out before he dies, and an ultra kill for Yatoro.
The only thing that denies this man another rampage on his resume is Notice getting the hell out of there. Wanted none of that. Again, that fight, honestly, it's okay for Yandex. They can win that fight if there is no Aegis on this Phantom Assassin. That is the biggest difference maker there. And that is why that whole smoke is just questionable to begin with. Because how is your Furion going to kill this PA twice and survive the entire time unless you are axe calling the PA? Yatoro just ran into them. He knows if he breaks this initial play, it's great. You read your supports, but Yandex lose theirs to the PA cleave.
Yeah, that situation, like no PA. Watson's just probably able to keep the fight going against the Tide, kill him.
Potentially go to base, come back. I mean, there's not a lot of HP on the Dragon Knight too. Just he gets kited down at the end. That fight looks very different without 2 lives on Yatoro, but Spirit know that. I mean, that's why they're kind of leading the charge into that smoke play. And now all of a sudden, this Phantom Assassin 10-1, pushing towards that Satanic.
There's also 2 lives on Rue as he fought back for that one. Collapse is going to get through the gate here and join his team for taking second Tormentor.
And you get to the Satanic on the PA, he's just a beast. I think the only thing that will kill Yatoro and stop him in the fight at that point is chain stunning this axe call DK stun with Fury on top.
Finally spawns, and one of the sports will get a shard. It's the Warlock.
Gotta remember, there's the Alacrity that can go on this guy too. An extra 100 damage. Pretty nasty spell. This PA is already hitting so damn hard. I'm trying to think if there's a way Yandex can stop the snowball save going out. Have to consider that. Like, if you go in and get the axe call on this PA, no one needs to check the Tusk, because if the Tusk blinked snowball saves him, probably screwed in that exchange as well.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower
You can potentially play to insta DK stun the Tusk as the call goes in, or vice versa. Sometimes you can build an Orchid to deal with him as well, but your options are pretty limited right now. Everybody's just trying to survive in these fights.
Especially when feels like Spirit are going to have the vision advantage because they have Shivas now in the Tidehunter. So he's going to be going in, popping the Shivas, getting a good idea of what the battle looks like.
It's all about the jump here for Yandex. They need to find a good target, isolate him, burst him down.
Team target.
Yeah, but can you see him?
No, he's...
Oh, they saw him.
Right past... Wait, they did?
They saw him on the creepway vision.
Soxa, quick to pounce, trying to get any vision they can. Yatoro, he goes to Malady, makes a run for it, and uses his second blink to get away.
So elusive. Doesn't have BKB now, though, so it is an opening for Yandex.
Yeah, they'll get at least something out of this. They'll kill the Warlock and his Golem. So it's a win for Yandex, but not the massive win it could have been. Look at Soxa go, man! What a monster! He says they can't fight, they can't fight. Go! But the Ravage is on board, the Cataclysm, they can't fight! Oh, God! It all goes wrong for Yandex!
Collapse. God, I mean, if one of these guys doesn't get you, the other one will. You just walked into the perfect team fight combo. Trying to force the issue. You knew the PA is weak, but it's not the PA who kills you here. It is that Cataclysm Ravage that does you absolutely dirty.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's a fight where the PA did basically the same damage as the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, he did nothing in that engagement.
He didn't have to do anything.
All Larl, it was all collapse. It was just a Ravage Cataclysm, and you're done.
That almost felt like a form of pressure in terms of this game has become hunting the PA, trying to find the PA, dealing with the PA's timings, and then you have this momentary lapse of, oh wait, they also have a bunch of AoE teamfight in this lineup.
Dire's bottom tower.
Gleb's having a good giggle of that one.
He's like, yeah, you forgot about me. You won't make that mistake again.
Who's the real GOAT?
Dire's bottom tower.
Lucian for Team Spirit off of that fight. Well, Yandex, time for
Miracle.
Plan C, Plan D,
Plan F.
Time to,
I don't know.
Plan G, GG.
This is going to be a tough high ground to hold. Your Furion just can't stand his ground.
He's doing all this. Oh, the dagger comes, the Sunstrike.
The only reason he survives is because he's so slow.
Yeah, the Gush and the dagger slowing him down so much.
Will not get crit there, though. Yatoro's just been an item ahead of this Furion, which is pretty disgusting since Furion's always supposed to be ahead, but he has his full Satanic online, pushing towards 25. Watson was thinking about going Satanic, which again, I think MKB Satanic on the Furion is your best way to stand your ground against the PA. So he has like an Abyssal or something. He never got there, so now he has to consider AC or something. I think you have to go Satanic on Furion here. I don't think AC keeps you alive. It helps your
does Satanic keep you alive?
Maybe a little bit, like with Satanic plus Daedalus. If you land some crits and you stand there against the PA.
Dire are scanning for
possible.
Little game of cat and mouse.
Dude, that damage is that's just not right.
spree. Own it! Fool's dog.
That's just not right there, dude. I don't know. This hero is still so stupid sometimes.
Yeah, Gleipnir Meteor, it does some work.
Are scanning for enemies.
Meteor AoE damage is huge. So pretty much the game plan for Yandex is you just have to be thinking about what Ultra Late looks like and if you can get there.
Refresher on Axe. More scale on this Dragon Knight, who's just really far behind in this game. Chira Jr. I feel like since he got ganked on that triangle, like he tried to BKB with the anchor.
Yep.
Since that death, I don't think he's had anything go for him.
No, he is the lowest farmed core, which is very rare to say for Dragon Knight because it's a hero that farms pretty quickly. and obviously can fight very well, take early towers. Like, there's so many things that makes Dragon Knight good right now.
It just didn't go their way, and he was the frontline initiator in a lot of those fights, so when they go bad, he always pays the iron price.
Yeah.
2 minutes on the clock for this Aegis. The Toro is in item slot issues, but that's a good problem to have.
Dire's bottom tower
Could wait and farm his Abyssal, or he can just drop the banner and go, and he decides to just go. Does not have faith that Yandex can stop him right now.
won't last long.
Do they have buybacks? They have a Dragon Knight buyback and a Shadow Demon buyback, so Axe is kind of all in.
With the Dragon Tail, kite him around and kill him with the Blade Mail. That's one.
Okay.
Notice is stuck here. He might have to use his BKB just to get out. Pops the BKB as Collapse jumps in.
I wanted to force it here.
Collapse, he'll chill. Wait, Rue goes back in as the BKB expires here. The disruption, he's going to be in the meter. The Ravage goes out, he blinks away, but still the other heroes can't jump away. 3 kills with the Ravage Cataclysm. A 4th goes to Yatoro, and now the buybacks go in. Yandex, this is a must-win fight. The game is over if they can't get something out of this situation. A roll in from Rue, going after Yatoro. Yatoro blows him up. Tornado tops up on 2. They reset, and they go straight for the throat. Yandex fighting for their lives, and they won't be fighting long. This is team spirit all the way.
A second ultra kill for the man as he will end this game 16-1 on one of his absolute signature heroes. Instant DC. It's been some time since I've seen a carry instantly DC from a game in victory and not in shame. But it will happen here for Yatoro in game 1. Wow, that was a beatdown. I mean, we saw some of the power in like the mid game, but that early game was not